Hello, everybody. Welcome to Excel with Chad. Today, we are going to go through the dollar signs. Dollar signs are used to lock the columns, rows, or both when you are copying a formula downwards or sideways. They allow you to copy and paste formulas quickly and correctly. For example, I want to calculate the interest for each month according to the interests that are available in this case. So how do I go about it? In the normal case, at 5%, I would take an equal sign and the parentheses of the end date, B7 minus A7, and then I would multiply it by 5%, and then I would multiply by 1,000 divided by 365 days. So this would be the interest that will be applicable for my case for this specific month. However, if you look at how things will be when I actually copy my formula downward, is that it will move my formula downward. So if you actually inspect the formula, now I'm not referring to 5% anymore, and I'm also not referring to the loan amount. However, if you see the column B and column A over here, B8 and A8 is actually the right cell that is being referenced. So to solve this problem, what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert dollar signs. To insert the dollar signs, I just reactivate this cell C7. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my cursor to C6 in this case. So what is happening right now is as I move this cursor to C6, which is this 5%, I'm going to hit the button of F4. So as you can see here, there is an additional two dollar signs that are being introduced into this, which is one before the column reference and another one before the row reference. So if I hit the F4 button once again, I will see the single dollar sign. And this is actually before the row reference. Now, if I hit it again, I will see this dollar sign moving from between C and C6 to before C. Now, what are they? This is essentially the lock row function, and this is the lock column function. So if you hit F4 once again from here, then it will go back to no dollar sign. So it is always going to be lock the row and column, lock the row, and lastly lock the column. And because I want to lock my row when I copy downward, so I'm going to use the single dollar sign locking the row reference. Now for B2, I'm also going to repeat this process because I want it to stay the same as I copy my formula downward. So in order for me to do so, I'm going to lock my row once again. Okay, so if I copy this downward, I can see that my formula is now accurate because I've already locked this cell for this row of row number 6, and I locked B2 to row 2. So in this case, as I copy it downward, what will happen is the formula will always be correct. So I do not have to type this repeatedly. However, as I copy my formula to the right or sideways, what happens here is that I have a problem. Now, if I inspect the formula, I see that my dates are not correctly referenced. It is supposed to be like this. However, it is not correct anymore. And the other problem that I see here is that this is also incorrectly referenced. So because of this reason, I'm going to revisit this formula and I'm going to lock an additional cell. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a dollar sign in my cell B7 and A7. So how am I going to do so? I'm going to lock the column in this case because as I copy across, I want this cell to remain the same. You can also do this for this specific field. And as I copied across, I will see another problem. So in this case, what I see here is that this cell B7 and A7 is correctly referenced. However, B2 is incorrectly referenced because now it is moving to the side. So my final edit to this formula will then be to insert a double dollar sign. So if you see here, as I copy across, I will see that this B2 reference does not actually shift across. So once I've done so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this across once again and to inspect further. And last but not least, I'm just going to copy this formula downward and voila, you will see that all the calculations are correctly referenced. How useful is this to you? Will this help you personally or professionally? Let me know in the comments below. Please share this with someone who might benefit from this video. See more videos like this, like and subscribe. Bye-bye.